Wow. Washington. You commanded this free agency. Dan Quinn made his mark. And the Commanders have come out on top. Big time winners. I give you a W for your efforts. They have signed a new center. They have signed an edge rusher, another big need. They signed a running back. They signed an awesome linebacker, what I'm pumped to talk about. They signed an underrated guard. They did it all. They did it all, the Commanders. And let's begin with my favorite signing of the entire bunch. That is Frankie Luvu, linebacker of the Carolina Panthers, signs a 3-year deal with the Commanders for a max value of $36 million. In my opinion, the best linebacker on the market. 27 years old, going to be 28 in September. He is a beast. This past season, 5.5 sacks, 125 tackles, 11 quarterback hits. Last year, 7 sacks, 111 tackles. That is, for a middle linebacker, 12.5 sacks in 2 years. He is a former edge rusher, which makes him a dangerous asset to a defense when you can play coverage and you can also rush the quarterback. He's affecting the passing game in a unique fashion. In terms of his grade this past season for Carolina, Frankie Luvu was the 10th best linebacker in football according to PFF. 80 run defense, or 80 overall grade, 74 run defense grade, 90 pass rush grade, and 67.7 coverage grade. The past 2 seasons, he has ranked 16th and 10th at the linebacker position. He has played 873 plays in the box, 83 on the defensive line. He was the best pass rushing linebacker in football last year, according to PFF, at 6'3", 235. Frankie Luvu can do it all. And what I love about this addition is he is big enough to stop the run and come downhill and make those plays. He's good enough to play at the end of the line of scrimmage as an edge player in certain formations and gives you a vibe of Micah Parsons within Dan Quinn's defense. I'm not saying he's Micah Parsons. He's not as fast or twitchy or as quick, but he's a linebacker who can play edge, right? And Parsons was so good at edge that they just kept him there, right? But the whole idea of Parsons was Luvu, that idea of linebacker edge, kind of like a Dante Hightower type of guy, right? But then he's also good in coverage, which is rare for a linebacker of his size. So he's going to be able to do everything in this defense for this team, and that's why I love this signing so much. The next signing is Dorance Armstrong, a Dallas Cowboy. 3-year, $45 million max value. This is a Dan Quinn favorite. Dorance Armstrong still on the rise. I believe he had his best season of his career last year. He is 6'4", 255, 26 years old, turning 27 in June. Dorance Armstrong has been in the NFL for, it feels like, a minute, but he's only 27. He has had 16 sacks over the past 2 years, 8.5 in 2022 and 7.5 in 2023. Both playing 17 games in both seasons. Now, that being said, he has not been a starter. So thinking of starting snaps, right? He has not been a starter. He is a rotation player, but he's still been able to put up 16 sacks in 2 years. And the year before that, he had 5. So he's actually had 21 sacks in 3 years, which is 7 per season. So Dorance Armstrong, what I like about him, he's got good length. He's got good size. I think he uses that length to get around the corner very well. And more of a pass rusher, I would say, than a run defender for sure. And they've treated him that way in Dallas. But I could see him becoming a full-time player in Washington because of the need that they have. He fulfills a huge need for them. They got rid of Montez Sweat and Chase Young. He's the best edge rusher on the team right now. 468 snaps for them at that position. He ranked 49th according to PFF. He had a 69.7 pass rush grade and a 51.8 run defense grade. So his run defense grade was far worse, 74th in the NFL. Its pass rush grade was 47th. So, yeah, like I said, better pass rusher than run defender. Productive player, though, and knows the defense and can play within it. The next player is the biggest name among the bunch. That is Austin Ekeler. Austin Ekeler is now 28, turning 29. And it's crazy because he looks like he's 38. But Austin Ekeler played 14 games last year. And honestly, if I'm being honest with you guys, I think he's washed. But I still think that he brings certain things that are valuable to the NFL game. He's a good pass catcher. He's a good pass blocker. He's a really hard worker. And you watch the workouts and you're like, wow, this guy's still friggin' athletic. So you look at Austin Ekeler and you say, he is not a very good runner, nor has he ever been a great runner. But this past year was his worst, 3.5 yards per carry. The year before, 4.5, 4.4, 4.6, 4.2, 5.2, 5.5. And last year, you'll watch the tape and you'll say, why is he getting caught from behind by a linebacker? Why is he getting caught behind from an edge rusher? Why is he getting caught behind? Why is he getting caught behind? Why is he getting caught behind? He looks slow on the field is my point. But he was still productive, 628 yards, 5 touchdowns, 51 catches, 436 yards through the air. And he can catch the football. He's a great route runner. He's always, making magic. And, 107 catches in 2022 is insane. 90, is he at 90? 92 in 2019, 70 in 2021, 51 this past year. But he did miss 3 games, so keep that in mind. So wear and tear is definitely coming on his smaller body, right? He's 5'10", 200. He looks like he's 5'6" on the football field. But Ekeler is probably going to need a backfield mate, and I believe that is Robinson, but we'll see what the Washington Commanders decide to do and employ him in what type of way. But in terms of the spread system and in terms of the air raid system that Cliff Kingsbury runs, it's a fascinating fit for sure. Spread him and shred him. Ekeler can be that guy out of the backfield. And then the final signing that the Commanders made might have been the best one if you ask a Chief fan. And if you ask a Chief fan, they would tell you that Nick Allegretti is an MVP of the Super Bowl. Nick Allegretti, 3-year, $16 million deal, $9 million guaranteed. Their new starting left guard. I told you guys they like offensive linemen from the Chiefs. They signed Andrew Wiley last year. Now, I thought they would sign Donovan Smith. I guess I was just wrong about which offensive lineman it would be. But Nick Allegretti can play, and he proved that last year. In terms of his PFF stuff. So let's see if he actually comes up on here. Is he still under the Chiefs? Let me see. Maybe he didn't qualify for enough snaps because he mostly played in the playoffs. Okay, so he didn't qualify to be ranked, but he had 253 snaps, a 65.8 grade, which is solid, a 73.7 pass blocking grade, which is about top 15 in the NFL. So really underrated player. The only reason he didn't get more money is he has not played very much. 2021, he was a very good player, an 81.8 grade, which is very good. Last year, he wasn't very good in his limited play, but overall, he has only been graded once in his career, which was 31st out of 80 in 2020. So he's a former 7th-round pick. He is 27, turning 28 in April, and he's going to get a chance to start. And I think he's a good addition for cheap. $16 million on 3 years for a starting guard is solid when you consider this market. So, yeah, good moves by Washington. Think they hit home runs really across the board. I think a lot of these moves are awesome. Ekeler, I'm a little bit suspect because he's old, but love Luvu. Oh, I forgot one. Tyler Biadasz. How did I almost forget about the center? I'm sorry about that, Cardinals, or not Cardinals fans. I'm thinking of the Cardinals because Cliff Kingsbury, Commanders fans. Tyler Biadasz, 6'3", 316, 26 years old. will be 27 in November. He played 17, 16, 16 games 3 years in a row. He was a Pro Bowl center at 25 years old in 2022. He is a good center. He was, I believe, the 14th graded center in football last year and has progressed with every season of his career. 18th in 2021, 25th in 2022, 14th in 2023. So last year was his best year, 2021 his second best year. But I would say he's a better pass blocker than run blocker most of the time. And that's a good thing. And he moves well as well. He's also tough. He brings the pain. So now I can say, Commanders fans, congrats on your signings, and thank you for watching.